Hey guys, I wanted to come to you, and today I'm going to actually speak directly to sellers. And again, I think you probably received a few days ago the buyer agency video. You may not be in the market, but you may know somebody who is. And if they are starting to think about selling their home, I'm going to ask, please forward this to them, because there's new changes that are going to directly affect sellers coming here very, very soon. Ultimately speaking, we've talked for a few months about Burnett Sitzer. You know, we've kind of gone over what that lawsuit was about. We've also talked a little bit about NAR's settlement of Burnett Sitzer back in April and some of the changes that were going to come down the line. Well, guess what? They're here. August 17 nationally, this is going to have to, these rules are changing. But more importantly, here in West Michigan, as of August 13, we are actually implementing these early. And for me, of course, I am implementing these, or have been already doing a lot of these. I want to just kind of have this conversation with you to say, this is what's changing. This is what your rights are. And do understand what a conversation with a buyer or with your listing agent, ideally I'm hoping that's me, but with your listing agent to find out what's best for you in your scenario. So here's what's changing, guys. For you, previously, I would present you with a listing contract that might say my commission is at X percent. Commonplace is 6%, sometimes it was 7%, depending on the specific needs of the individual. So my commission is at X percent. Now I'm going to take a portion of that commission. You're going to pay me, and I'm going to split that in half. And I'm going to pay that to a buyer's agent to bring us a qualified buyer to your home. So again, my fee was 6%. I'm splitting it in half. 3% goes to them. 3% goes to me. That is the example that I am using, not necessarily saying that that was standard. So again, splitting it in half. And so you paid 6%. And I chose to give 3% of that away. Well, Burnett Sitzer in the NAR lawsuit says, nope, we can't do that anymore. In fact, what we can do is say to you, my fee is 6%. You have the right to negotiate, which you've always had the right to negotiate. So you have the right to negotiate. And then from there, you can say, and Sarah, I'd rather you keep all 6%, which honestly I would love. Don't get me wrong. And I don't want to pay a buyer's agent, or I don't want to pay you and a buyer's agent. What I'd like to do is pay you X percent. You have that right. And then you also have the option, instead of paying it in a percentage format, you could pay it in a flat dollar amount in the terms of the words concessions. What are concessions? Concessions are when the seller says, hey, in order for me to get this sold, I realize I'm going to have to contribute a little bit to the buyer's closing costs and prepaids. And that's been a practice we've had for many, many years. So in essence, we call them seller's concessions. It might be here as closing costs and prepaids. Those two terms are used interchangeably. You now have the option to offer a flat fee. Instead, you know what, Sarah, I want to pay you X percent, but I'm going to only offer $5,000 in seller's concessions instead. And I can control that. And so instead of maybe paying the full amount in a percentage form, you could do it in a flat fee. But again, you have to talk with your listing agent about what is the best decision for you and how the math actually works out and what they predict will happen based upon what you think you need to have. So again, this is now your choice to offer buyer's agent compensation. You can choose to do it in the percentage as we've always done. You could choose to do it in a flat rate, like in form of seller's concessions. And I'm going to note, if you do offer it in the form of seller's concessions, you are not legally allowed to dictate how the buyer chooses to use those. Let me say that again. You are not legally allowed to dictate how the buyer chooses to use those. So if you do offer concessions, do understand that the buyer could choose that to use to pay their insurance. They could use that to pay their lender fees. They could use, however, just know that that's a way to do that. And of course, then you have the option to not offer it at all. And again, you have to decide what's best for you. And that is a conversation more done directly with your listing agent. Again, I hope that's me. And if you have any questions, I'm going to invite you to just kind of give me a text. send me an email. My phone number is 616-204-7896. Otherwise, you could email me at the number 1 redheadedagent@gmail.com. And again, I look forward to talking to you. Hope to see you soon.
Good job.